I'm Denise with Roots to Rock. We'll get back to the live music in just a few minutes. First, we want to talk with Allie Houchman. She's the retail manager of Star Hill. Allie's music has been part of Star Hill's culture since the beginning. Why is that?
So we began as a small restaurant, brew pub, and actually music hall when we started in 1999 on West Main Street in Charlottesville. So we've always been entwined with music because it was always right upstairs from us. And so, we would brew our own beers on our small system downstairs, and, the music hall was open until about 2007, but we hosted some small local acts in there to the likes of, Jack Johnson and Kenny Chesney and My Morning Jacket. So that really became a big association for our name because folks from all over the region would come to see these great shows in a very intimate setting and have some of our beer on tap as well. So.
Yeah. And people might not realize that you're one of the largest craft beers and one of the first craft beers in Virginia. Mm-hmm. How did you all help pave the way for the others who came behind you?
So we, it was definitely, a handful of us in the very beginning. And, when we first started, we pretty much just served our own beer at our location and a few other small accounts around town in the Charlottesville, kind of central Virginia area. But our owners definitely dreamed a little bit bigger and hoped to maybe become statewide and maybe one day, a national brand. And so from there, we moved into a larger facility and started working on distributing our brand and all the beers that we had made. And while there, we also had a small tap room at our production facility. And at the time, back in like the mid 2000s, you could really only, the Virginia law stated that you could only have small free samples on site and then sell beer to go. And, for us, we really wanted people to be able to feel our vibe and kind of have that, get the Star Hill experience. And so we certainly helped pave the way when we were working on new legislation with some of our craft brewing brethren. In 2012, we passed a law that allowed folks to enjoy pints on premises at craft breweries. So that really opened up the floodgates, and now we have over 200 craft breweries in Virginia, so it's really exciting to be part of that.
So you guys have grown, you brew 24 hours a day, is that right?
Yeah, so at our main production facility in Crozet, we usually start up, we will brew 24 hours about 4 days a week now. So we start up Monday mornings and we go through till about Friday afternoons. So yeah, someone's always on the brew house.
So how do you keep that craft brew feel and do the wide distributing?
So it's really about, when we come up with a new recipe, it's really about anything can inspire us, whether it's, you're listening to music in your car, you're at a festival, or you're going out to dinner and you eat something or drink something else that has really nice, interesting flavors and you kind of want to explore that. All of our employees are also really, really into craft beer. And since there are so many great ones in the state, we travel around a lot. To different breweries in Virginia, as well as out of state, and just take our inspiration from everywhere. But we also really try very hard to stay true to ourselves and what we like to drink and enjoy. So, you'll never find artificial flavors or anything fake in any of our beers. Even when we have a crazy raspberry sour, we're actually using real raspberries in that beer, or real chocolate, or real vanilla. So we try to keep it.
So, is there really a beer at the end of every shift?
Yeah. It's we call it a shifty. And so usually, if you've been on the clock and you've worked a shift, you can, after you clock out, you can enjoy a beer. So that's anyone from, our packaging line guys to our bartenders to the brewmaster. So
now we're in the pilot brewery. What is a pilot brewery, and tell me about the special anniversary coming up?
This is actually our first satellite location, we're really excited to be here in Roanoke. And the pilot part references our pilot system that we have here. It's a 5-barrel brew system, so it's about a fifth of the size of our brew house in our Crozet location, our main production facility. And so what this system allows us to do is to make small batches. And when we do smaller batches, we're working obviously with less ingredients, less raw materials, so we can really experiment and do crazy things and try flavors and styles and combinations that we've never done before. So even if it ends up not working out, it's not that much to get rid of, but we've been really lucky so far that unfortunately we have lost a few batches, but due to equipment failure rather than actually the beer's own,
Taste
result. Exactly. So we have already, produced quite a few down here that we've been able to replicate on the large system and bring to even more people. So this really lets us play, but it also kind of drives our innovation forward.
So next week you have a special anniversary.
Yes, so the Pilot Brewery is turning 1, so we're doing a first birthday celebration. Of course, like any birthday, it should be celebrated for at least a week. We're doing 10 days, so we're going to be releasing at least 4 new beers, and it might even be up to 6 or so. So we'll see what we can package. But we're going to be releasing a bunch of new beers. We're going to be offering like a special stein to drink them out of. We're going to be supporting charities. We're going to be doing some crazy giveaways. We have these really cool Bluetooth speaker coolers that hold like a 30 rack of cans or something. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun things, and we hope people come out and really let us kind of thank them and thank the community for supporting us for the first year, because we've accomplished a lot and we couldn't have done it without the people of Roanoke. So,
and of course it's open invitation.
Yeah, totally open invitation. Yeah.
Thank you, Allie. Thanks for having us here too and being the host of the first Roots to Rock.
Of course, we're really excited.
Now we're going to go back to Aaron Lunsford with live music. You may have seen Allie on Roots to Rock. She's going to get a little bit more in-depth here about how flavors are picked for brewing. So who decides what flavors are put into the beer, and how do you come up with these unique flavors, like raspberry sour you mentioned?
Yeah, so it depends on who is writing the recipes. So our brewmaster comes up with a lot of recipes himself, but each of our brewers has also participated in the recipe development as well. And then sometimes even, other team members can say, hey, I tried a really great margarita goza, and we should try to replicate that or do something similar where we're referencing cocktail flavors, or we're referencing, so for example, we have a new fall seasonal coming out. It's called Last Leaf Maple Brown Ale, and we just thought, well, a lot of people do pumpkin beers in the fall, but what's another great fall flavor we could work with? Maple. Done. So it really just depends on how inspiration strikes us and what we think our customers will enjoy. We do pay attention to customer feedback as well. So for example, down here in the Pilot Brewery, our most recent brews that we came out with were stouts, even in July and August, because that's what our customers wanted to try. And we said to ourselves, well, we are going to come out with some dark beers later this year, so it gives us a chance to experiment with some of those flavors before we put it on the large scale. So it kind of comes from everywhere, and we try to, get as many folks involved as possible as far as employees go. So, yeah.
Now, on your website, you say that nerds make the best brewers. And I have known some people, chemical engineers, who are now craft brewing. Is that why, or why do nerds make the best brewers?
Yeah, I definitely think a big part of it is that, so let me start over. We do have, I think, 3 or 4 brewmasters, certified brewmasters on our brewing team, and they had to go to school and take a bunch of classes, and now they're official. But a really big part of brewing, it's not just the flavor aspect and the inspiration and the art side of it. A really large part of it is the science and getting into the nitty-gritty and the details. And a nerd strikes me as someone who is very obsessive about something in particular, and knows the contents of something inside and out. And so we really strive to make sure that our recipes are really specific in particular, and that our process is really clean and precise, so that we're producing the best product possible.
And so you can replicate it as well.
Exactly. Consistency is key for our customers. So
now your beer is out in about 6 states, from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. What's next for you all?
So we have really turned an eye, obviously, to the the retail side of things. So we opened this satellite tap room in Roanoke, and we're definitely looking across the state to see where else we could bring Star Hill to in Virginia. So we're really excited about that opportunity going forward, so look out for that soon.
Very good. Thank you so much, and thank you for having us in Roanoke's Pilot Brewery and Side Stage. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been great having you guys.